All right, we have a buzzword in the game of golf. That is compression. What is it? How do you get it? Let's get into it. All right, guys, we're going to talk about compression here today. So it's a big buzzword in the game of golf. We hear it all the time on TV that, oh, he compresses his irons well. Honestly, partly, I think you can compress your woods and everything too. Compression is the idea that we are just going to compress the golf ball. So when a golf ball gets hit, it actually gets squeezed and then it goes. So are we really going to squeeze the golf ball on purpose? Well, probably not. It's just going to happen as we go through. But there's definitely some things we can do that we can make sure we are getting the most energy into the golf ball to send it. That's really what compression is to me, is when I go through, I want to make sure the energy of the club, I'm not wasting energy going some other direction. I want it going into the ball towards the target. That is how you really start compressing your golf shots. So how do we do that? Well, the biggest thing that we need to understand is your compression is going to come from your trail arm. So what do most people do? They get up to the top of their swing. I'm seeing this a ton of late now. They come down and they start doing this shallow move. Well, what happens is the golf club gets out of position. I need to get this golf club to a point where I can move through the golf shot and my right arm can move the back of the club through the hitting area. That's what I'm looking for. So when we go up, people start doing some crazy things. They get over here. All of a sudden, I can no longer get into this position where I have my trail arm bent. I'm going to move my body and I'm going to be pushing my trail arm through the shot, okay? That is where you start getting that compression from. So as I go through, what I like to have people do is they'll just go ahead and take a setup. They're going to start back and they're just going to go through, okay, and put the club onto the ball. And what they'll find is they can actually make some pretty decent contact. It doesn't have to be perfect if you're doing it one-handed, but if you're starting to see some crazy things, you know, it's hard to hit the ball, you're hitting the ground a lot, you're shanking it, stuff like that, that's going to tell you that there is a lot of wasted motion in your golf swing. So what I want people to realize is I go back, I've got to get the club in a position where my trail hand can then come in on the back of the club, my arm is bent, and then I'm going to straighten that arm on the target side of the golf ball. And if I do that, I can get the club onto the ball. Again, doesn't have to be the prettiest shot. I just want to make sure the club gets onto the golf ball. So from there, we put two hands on it and we say, all right, got a little more control now, but let's take that feel, okay? Arm goes through, working our way through, and I just want you to hit a couple of shots. And they're all of a sudden like, wow, I can hit the ball with a lot of click. I can put some power into this thing. And as we look at our yardages, you know, that's like a 20% pitching wedge for me. That's what it feels like, but it still went 122 yards in the air. It's like, wow, that thing is jumping off of here, and it's just so easy. So compression is really about getting things lined up so you're not wasting energy. Okay, it's not about, hey, I'm going to hit down on the ball, because then you start seeing people go like this. Yeah, they're hitting down, they're going to squeeze the golf ball into the ground, but they're still not compressing it. You got to be able to put the energy that you have into the ball. That's also why we see really far hitters, they're not always taking divots. They can sometimes just sweep the ball, but they're still compressing it because all the energy is going into the ball, which then squeezes it and goes. That's really what we're looking for as we go through and compress it. So if you have questions about it, please let me know in the comments down below, but that's how you get your compression. Work on that trail arm, work on where is it putting energy, and when is that arm releasing that energy out. That is going to help you make better contact, but that's also going to make you a much more powerful player with a lot less effort, which is always a nice thing. So if you have questions, leave that comment, and as always, click that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.